Hi, welcome to Nonprofit 301, Introduction to the U.S. Nonprofit Sector and Organizations. I'm Dr. Charles Harrington. I'm teaching the course this semester. Hopefully you know that you're in this course, and this is an abbreviated course. The course will last the first 8 weeks of the semester. So basically what I'm doing, I'm going to take 15 weeks of stuff and squeeze it into 8 weeks. We cover a lot of material. It goes pretty quick, but I've kind of organized it in ways that are manageable. Glad you're in the class. Thank you for showing an interest in nonprofit work. Real quickly, every week I'm going to come to you in a brief video just like the one that you're seeing here today. And I'll talk to you about what you're supposed to be doing during the week, the kinds of stuff that you need to be reading, what the deliverables are, if there's a quiz, or if you've got discussion board or journals or other types of things, and point certain things out to you that are probably going to be helpful. I would suggest to you immediately, if you haven't done it already, make sure you get the book. This isn't the greatest book in the world, but it's not the most expensive. I thought that the Solomon text, I thought did a really nice job of an introduction. Easily digestible, that you can read it without it being overwhelming. I also would suggest to you that you get print off a copy of the syllabus and take a look at it. Because the syllabus is like a contract, what you can expect from me, what I expect from you, how things work out. Let me just tell you from the start, because this is online, if you need me, you need to get connected, you need to let me know things are going on, because life happens, right? Email me, text me, call me on the phone, whatever. When you do email me, let me suggest to you, if it's something with regard to a paper in the class or information about your schedule or concerns, please use your university assigned email account, okay? Because if you use your personal email stuff, sometimes it goes in my trash, sometimes it doesn't. So, getting back to the syllabus. Read the syllabus very carefully. It has important dates on it, and what I thought I'd do now is just kind of cut to the chase and talk about week 1. We start on Monday. Our week does not go Monday to Friday. Our week goes from Monday to Saturday night at midnight. Because a lot of you got a lot going on, right? You're working, and maybe some of you have family responsibilities and child care and elder care, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. So when I talk about deadline for the week, I'm talking about midnight on Saturday night. And so your stuff is due midnight Saturday night. Now, hopefully that's not an inducement to procrastinate. It's just giving you time to do what you need to do. So, first week, starting this week, what I want you to do is really, you don't have to print it off, but read through the syllabus carefully. And then I want you to read out of the Solomon text the first 2 chapters. The first is an introduction, as you would suggest. It introduces you to the material you're going to be covering over the next 8 weeks. And then we're going to get into, really, the rubber hits the road in chapter 2. And Solomon talks about what the nonprofit sector is and kind of why we have one, what makes it unique, what are the kinds of salient issues occurring within the United States and the government that necessitated and required that we'd have a nonprofit sector. Now, I also want you to watch a journal. Hopefully some, if not most of you, have seen a TED Talk before. And Hugh Evans does a really nice TED Talk on what it means to be a citizen of the world. And by that, kind of how to be mindful about humanitarian things and charity and altruism and why that's important. Now, after you've read the first 2 chapters of the book and watched the video, you're going to be required to submit your very first, it's called a reading journal. And there's a link to it on the Blackboard site. And basically the reading journal is, I don't want you to tell me what you've read and what you've watched, because, I don't want to sound sarcastic, but, I assigned the stuff so I know what's in the textbook, and I've watched Hugh Evans, the video, a number of times, so I know what he's talking about. So I don't want you to kind of regurgitate what it is you read and what you saw. I want you to write about what you think about what you read and what you saw. Any of it make sense to you? Did you have what I call an aha moment? Like you read something and you're like, oh, wow, I had no idea that nonprofit activity in the United States goes way back into the 17th century, if not before. I had no idea that the government was not successful in taking care of widows and orphans and those types of things. And I also want you to to elaborate on kind of what this means to you. Does it make sense? Do you believe everything that you read or heard? I want you to be selective, and I want you to analyze the stuff. Because when we analyze what we read and what we see and what we hear, that's when we learn. Just if you read the book, you've read the book. It doesn't show me that you've learned anything. So a reading journal, it's a lot like, I don't know, if you were a young boy or a girl and kept a diary. You didn't painstakingly talk about everything you did during the day. You talked about your feelings and what you thought and what you hope for and what you aspire and what you like and what you don't like. And that's what I'm looking for, the same thing in the reading journal. And I hope what you're going to find through this process is what many former students have said to me. I really like the reading journal because it really got me to think about what I was reading. And in some ways, I've had a handful of students say, nobody's asked me to think about what I've been learning in class, because, gosh, it was just read this and then regurgitate it on a quiz or an exam and then kind of be done. We're going to have quizzes in this class. I know. Hopefully you'll still take the course, even after hearing about a quiz. But we're going to have quizzes. My quizzes for this course are typically 4 or 5 questions, and they're open-ended. Again, I'm going to get you to write your responses. I don't do fill in the blank. I don't do multiple guess. I like very clear, clean, concise, written responses. I want you to elaborate on it, and I'll talk to you more about that. Every week, probably on Monday, I'll do a short video just like this one, telling you kind of what to look forward to in the week. Please take a good look, again, at the syllabus. There are a number of dates and things in here. Make sure that you check your schedules for the semester and make sure everything's kind of copacetic and is going to work out for you. I'm really glad you're here. My real hope and prayer for you this semester is that you learn something about nonprofit sector, something that you didn't know before, something you can use. Hope it'll fire your imagination. And maybe at the end of the semester, maybe some of you may say, hey, I might be interested in nonprofit. We do have a minor in nonprofit administration. There are lots of internship opportunities, independent study opportunities, and if any of that resonates with you, let me know. Thanks, and I hope you have a great semester, and I'll see you next week, okay?